Hey guys, how's it going? It's Chris here. Welcome to a video that I'm going to call Mementos. Basically, these are just a random collection of items that I have held on to for years and years and years, and each one has a story associated with it that gives me a burst of nostalgia or just kind of reminds me, it's like evidence of the past kind of thing. And I'm going to go over each of the items one by one. I know it seems like a really stupid, weird assortment of items, but really that's what connects us to our past, our stupid items. So we're going to start over here in the corner. This is a rock that I found right here. It's a rock. It's got some I think smoky quartz inside of it, and I know you can't see all too well. You can't focus all that well, but I think right about here you can see. Basically, this is a rock that I found during a field trip in 8th grade. Okay, and basically what the field trip was. It was for a rock project where we had to do a project where we collected a bunch of different types of rocks with different crystals and stuff like that, and we had to provide a bunch of information on them and do some research about what type of rocks they were. And we went to this place in New Hampshire where it was like a dig site, and we could actually go digging for particular rocks and rocks we found. We did research on them and stuff, and I wasn't into this project at all. I barely passed it. I didn't really care, but I did go off with my little hammer and pickaxe thing, and I found a rock, and I hit it like once, and then this chunk came off like that. And I picked it up, and I went, oh, cool, wow. And then I flipped it over, and I saw this, and I'm like, holy shit, look what I found. And this is how it was when it came out of the rock. It was just pieces of quartz like that, and I thought it was so cool. And it's just a really cool piece. It's just a really cool rock. It's so interesting. And it also just reminds me back then of just like, how anything can honestly happen. One swing of a rock to break off a chip off of this boulder, and I get this really cool rock right here. It's just a testament that life is just full of surprises. So I hold on to that. That's really cool. Next over to here, this is my Kyocera. This is my very first cell phone, and there's really no huge story associated with it. I mean, I used to just, it's just my old phone. I played like Snake on it and stuff. I played a lot of those weird old games. And honestly, I'm trying to find a charger so I can charge the battery so I can see what's on it. Obviously, there's no camera. There's nothing crazy. I mean, look at the size of the screen. It's the size of my finger. There's no camera. I just want to see if there were like messages on there or contact numbers or games or like wallpapers I downloaded. I just want to see what's on here, just the display. I'm so curious. So I'm going to get a charger for that someday, but I looked it up. It's like $10, and I don't want to spend $10 because I know it's not going to be worth it. All right. That's those. And then this next is a little Christmas music box, okay? This item right here doesn't have a super crazy event attached to it. I just remember I was searching in my basement at my parents' house for some, because like I stored a lot of my old stuff down there. I go down there and find some old miscellaneous items. I'd be like, oh, I remember this, whatever have you. But I found this music box down there, and I don't know why, but it like kindled a love for music boxes for me. I don't understand. Here, I turned the camera up a little bit. I don't know why, but just something about the music and music box is just so nice. If it would actually play, though, this thing it's a little old. Here, let me There's just something so calming about the little tinging. It's just nice, and I always open it up once in a while if I'm feeling downtrodden or whatever, and it just kind of just makes me feel a little bit happy. And next over here, we have a collection of cards that are all in very poor condition, but I have some Yu-Gi-Oh! And a Pokemon card. This is, you look at the backs of these, and the cards are tinted to the monsters, so Obelisk is blue, Slifer's red, and Raw is yellow. So these are all like fake cards, essentially. And then I have Ancient Mew from Pokemon. And these cards right here, I remember, of course, growing up, I loved Yu-Gi-Oh! I was a huge fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! The card game and the show and all that good stuff. And Pokemon too. I got the Pokemon card from a promotional pack back when the movie came out or whatever. So I've held on to that, kept it in very good condition, whatever have you. But the cards, I remember we were going to have a yard sale, and I've never done a yard sale. I was like 12, and I really wanted to like participate in the art sale. So at that point, I was just like, I just wanted to have the thrill of a sale. So I wanted to sell anything. So I got some of my Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I got like my Egyptian gods. I got like my pieces of Exodia, Dark Magician, Blue Eyes. I got like, and this is back when like Yu-Gi-Oh was more popular and the cards were much more rare because there wasn't thousands of copies. There wasn't millions of copies of each monster. You know, if you had Dark Magician or original Blue Eyes, it was something worth bragging about. And so I had those, and I wanted to sell them. And I put them in the art sale to sell them, but they didn't sell, and they were like a little binder. So what I did was I put the binder in a box, and we were going to go back the next day, but we never came back. All of our stuff, this was on like my grandparents' property, so the stuff was safe. But the stuff just kind of sat in a box, and I actually forgot about it for years. And I went back to that spot in the yard sale, and I was going through the boxes, and I'm like, holy crap! I found my binder with all my original rare Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And over the years, I had stopped playing Yu-Gi-Oh. I didn't like not like it, but I just kind of like faded out for me a little bit. I didn't know anyone really that played it too much, so I never got a chance to play it with anyone else. And my most rare cards were gone. I didn't know what happened to them at the time. I completely forgot about putting them there. And so I found that binder, and it rekindled my love for Yu-Gi-Oh! I was like, oh my god, I have so many good memories of Yu-Gi-Oh! And so I went and I started buying, collecting cards, and now I have over 7,000 cards, and I'm more in love with Yu-Gi-Oh! Now than I ever was, but because I found these cards. So I keep these in a binder in a special place, and they're just kind of like, you know, they revived my love for Yu-Gi-Oh! And I love it for that. So, moving over here, this is kind of weird, but this right here is, you can barely see it, it's really small. It is I believe a fish oil pill, and I think my dad takes fish oil pills, and he was on these really small ones. Again, it's really hard to tell, but you can see like there's a little bit of like pen ink on it, like right in the front there. You can barely tell, I'm sorry. But, yeah, this fish oil pill, I remember I grabbed it from my dad, and I was just like squeezing it. I was playing with it. I like the texture of it and all that stuff. And honestly, I carried this thing around in school with me. I don't know why. It was like middle school, and I just carried around a fish oil pill with me at school because I liked it. I thought it was cool. I liked the texture. It was when it was warm outside, it was a little bit squishy. When it was cold, it was harder. It was hard as a rock. And then I just put it in a drawer, and it's just come with me everywhere I've gone. So it's just a stupid fish oil pill, and I don't know why I have it, but I still do. Moving on, this is a pen that, no significance really to it, but I've had it since like 6th or 7th grade. I remember I got this pen in 6th grade, and the way my school works is, the grade school is K through 6, and then you go to high school, which is in a different building, well, middle school and high school, which is 7 through 12. And 7 through 12 is its own building, K through 6 is its own building. So I remember in 6th grade, I got this pen, and this thing, came with me throughout class in every grade. I had this from 6th to 12th grade, and I just had this pen. I remember Sam grabbed it once and went to write something. I'm like, don't touch that pen, put it back, that thing is sacred. I've had it for so long, and it still writes. I mean, obviously not amazingly well, but it can still write. So, I don't know, I've just held on to that pen for a long time because I liked how it was a nice smooth pen, and it wrote very awesome. I loved it. Wrote very awesome. This is coming from a fucking author. It writes well, and I enjoy that pen. Next we have this little cap gun. This is actually very, I don't know what year, I don't know this is made, I should do some research on it, but this is a very old cap gun that I found in my old house. And not my old house like where my parents live right now. Before that, we lived in a farmhouse that was owned by my grandmother, and it was across the field to her house, which was a daycare at the time. And but I was playing in my backyard, and we have like this really big tree that I often found eggs and bird nests and stuff, like eggs that hatched. They fell on the ground from the tree, and it was always cool to see what I found. And I remember I was sitting there digging around for eggshells, and I saw a little piece of like silver sticking out of the ground. I'm like, what the hell is that? So I dug it up from this tree, and this house has been here since like the 1600s. It's an old house. Obviously this isn't that old, but and I found this cap gun just buried in the dirt somewhere, and my dad looked at it, he's like, oh my god. It's like, I remember these from when I was a kid. My dad was born in like late 50s, I think. So this is exceptionally old. And I do remember back when I first found it, we did put in a string of the caps, and it did fire. This little reservoir up here slides up, and the cap comes out of the top, and it used to fire. It doesn't anymore. It's all jammed up. The mechanics don't work anymore. But it's just really cool. It was just an awesome discovery as a kid, and that again introduced me to, just like The Rock, you can find anything. You just need to explore a little bit. Next we have a Beyblade. Yeah, a lot of you are probably like, what the hell is a Beyblade? But Beyblade was a really, really cool thing that I used to do as a kid. They're just like these little tops. Obviously, it's still around, so people know what they are, but it's nowhere near as popular now as it used to be. But this is Drigger. He was one of my favorite Beyblades next to a Drig Dragoon. And I remember, I used to have so much fun taking these things apart and building them. I would do it all the time. Look at that. I still remember how to get that stuff apart. And then this thing breaks into like 3 pieces. It's just so cool to be able to customize and put these things together how you want it, giving it like a bigger rim inside to make it heavier and give it like a different type of tops that would cause more damage. And why this is such a significant memory for me is because I remember going around and we had a carpet obviously in the living room, and I would take my Beyblades and I would let them rip on the carpet, and I would basically I would let them rip on the carpet. Obviously, a carpet's not going to spin as well as on like a hardwood floor or a tile floor. And it was like I was training my Beyblade back then. I was like, I got to make him stronger by making him spin on the carpet. And then, you know, the longer he lasts, the stronger he's getting. And it was just, you know, my naivety. It was just me being naive as a kid, but also just super innocent. And I loved it. Beyblade was awesome. So last thing on the list is a memory card from PS2. I remember this friggin' thing. This is the 2x storage memory card. And I don't even know how much memory this thing held. And I don't even know what there's a button on it. I don't know what it does. But I remember this lights up, this little LED. Actually, it's not an LED, it's just a little green light. It lights up when it's in use. And this actually has a lot of my old save data on it from PlayStation 1. I have Digimon World, you know, I have Monster Rancher Battle Card, and just so many old games I used to play on PS1 that are still on this memory card. At least I think they are. If I put it into a PS2 or a PS1, it probably would say it's all corrupted or something, but this is my memory card that had 2x storage, so I went to all my friends just like, yeah, your pathetic little memory card. I have 2x storage. This thing probably has 10 megabytes, something like that, something pathetic. Yeah, guys, that's really it for some of my mementos. If you want to see me do another video like this, I can scavenge around the house. I can find more items that I have hidden away in drawers or something like that. So if you're interested in me doing a sequel to this, let me know. And let me know what is a really cool memento from your childhood. Give me a short story. And yeah, so I will see you guys next video. Thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe for more. Later.